Amidst the ongoing winter session of the Parliament, the government has now confirmed that flights operating near Delhi and several other major airports have reported instances of GPS spoofing and GNSS interference in a written reply in the Rajya Sabha. Minister of Civil Aviation Ram Mohan Naidu said that after the DGCA made it mandatory in November 2023 to report all cases of GPS jamming or spoofing, regular reports are being received from other major airports in the country. According to the ministry, GNSS interference has been reported from airports in Kolkata, Amritsar, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Bengaluru and Chennai in addition to Delhi. The Civil Aviation Minister has also added that India continues to maintain a minimum operating network comprising conventional ground-based navigation and surveillance systems in line with global best practices to ensure safe operations even while satellite-based navigation is disrupted. Joining us on the broadcast is my colleague Brian Thomas with more on this. Brian, now the government has stated through a written reply that yes, GPS spoofing has affected flight operations in Delhi and in other airports as well.
Well, yes, as of now, clearly flight operations near Delhi and several other airports have reported multiple instances of GPS spoofing and the GNSS interference, as the government also informed. Even Ram Mohan Naidu, in a written reply in the Rajya Sabha, said that the DGCA made it mandatory to report all cases of GPS jamming or spoofing, which were regular incidents report, and are now being filed from major airports across the country. There has been GNSS interference that has been detected near Delhi, Kolkata, Amritsar, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Bengaluru and Chennai airports, and these disruptions also pose potential risks also for aircraft relying on satellite-based navigation during critical phases of flight. And not only that, the minister also stressed that India continues to maintain a minimum operating network, that is the MON, which is a backup grid of conventional ground-based navigation and surveillance systems to ensure safe operations even when satellite-based systems are compromised. Yes.
Brian, we saw just earlier this month that 1,500 flights in Delhi itself were, disrupted because of this GPS problems that were being faced. Now, the government is confirming that GPS sabotage might have taken place. This is huge news that is coming in, Brian.
Clearly, the minister did take a cognizance of it, and clearly the government has confirmed that several airports have reported the GPS GNS interference, and it was even announced in the Parliament by the Civil Aviation Minister. And to guard against navigational disruption, India also maintains a fallback, which is a minimum operating network of ground-based navigation and surveillance systems, so that flights can continue even if satellite-based systems can go down. Not only that, the interference reportedly also appear to be treated as a safety and security alert, not yet a defined cause for operational shutdown itself, but clearly as of now the minister has spoken about it and has taken cognizance itself. Yes.
All right, thank you so much, Brian. Joining us on the broadcast is Dr Vandana Singh, aviation expert. Thank you, Dr Singh, for joining us. Appreciate your time. This is a big news that is coming in, ma'am. We are seeing how the government has admitted in a written reply that yes, there was a GNSS interference, there was cases of GPS spoofing. It's a major concern, ma'am, now across the country with so many flight disruptions being reported of late.
Thank you, Shivani. Do you read me, Strength 5? Do you read me?
Yes, we can hear you.
So first of all, we should know that spoofing is not uncommon, that this is very different from jamming, and we have to make ourselves less dependent on the satellite navigation. So upgrading our own ILS or instrument landing system, which we are doing currently, we have to understand that Delhi's runway, which is approaching from Dwarka side, is the runway that's being used right now, and it's taking off on the Vasant side. So more spoofing is happening from this side. So therefore, implementing cryptographic authentication, which is what the government is trying to encrypt these satellite codes, making us less dependent on satellites and harder for spoofers to, sort of mimic or fake these signals or that are coming, and they are asked to report within 10 minutes. In fact, the airline or the pilot is asked to report this within 10 minutes of the spoofing incident. So basically, I think the government is doing everything, and it's on top of National Security Advisor's desk as we speak. The DGCA is also compiling a national database of these anomalies to map, this kind of hotspots or interference areas like that's happening near the Dwarka approach site. Since runway 10 by 28 is under, repair right now, and to strengthen these mechanisms. So airlines are now, they're relying on ground-based navigation aids instead of GPS. This is the solution, ma'am. Over to you.
Dr. Singh, ma'am, we have been, in fact, I had been reading a report that as compared to last year, now there are around 460,000 more cases of GPS spoofing as compared to 2024. We are seeing a rise in this number, and India is also, in fact, witnessing a rise in this number of cases of GPS spoofing. Does it raise a major concern if we are not able to shift to other technologies as soon as we want to, given that the cases are rising, because these are leading to a lot of disruptions in various facets of life, ma'am?
100%, Shivani. So it's very important that we have to stop relying on satellites. So you have to understand there are thousands of satellites now on the surface of Earth, and we have to understand that this GPS spoofing is serious enough that it can mislead the aircraft, throwing it off navigation by up to 2,500 kilometers to 2,800 kilometers, which can result in any kind of a catastrophe. Therefore, it is very important to block these signals. And like you rightfully said, the government has confirmed about 580 GPS spoofing incidents between November 2023 and February itself, which is mostly you see happening on the borders of our western side. What is that? That's Jammu and Kashmir, Amritsar, traveling towards north. So it's a national security threat.
Yes. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us with those perspectives on the broadcast. Also joining us on the broadcast is Vipul Saxena, who's also an aviation expert. Thank you so much, Vipul Saxena, for joining us. We want to understand how big of a threat this is for the country, given that GPS spoofing and GNSS interference is increasing, sir.
See, basically, first let's understand that spoofing is what. Is basically what it does is it makes your GPS signaling erratic. So it gives erratic positioning of the aircraft when it is in flying. So instead of what it does is accordingly it modifies its further route. So it can really cause a big diversion requirement or big catastrophe for the safety of the aircraft. Now, what government has done, they have accepted that these things did happen, and DGC had issued a circular that if such incidents are encountered within 10 minutes, it has to be reported to DGCA, and then it was coordinated with the Ministry of Home, Ministry of Defence, and all that, because there are various reasons behind which which needs to be investigated why it has happened, whether it was a ploy by the Pakistan or some other enemy forces trying to disrupt our GPS system, or it was because of some other exercise which probably our forces are doing, or maybe some trials are being done. So that is why it's a matter of security, so I would not like to go into much detail. But the matter is definitely under hard control by the Ministry of Civil Aviation, Ministry of Defence and Home Ministry, and I'm sure soon these things will be sorted out. Of late, for last 10-15 days, there are not much of such incident happen. It happened during the month of October mostly, and beginning of the or maybe mid of the November time.